Welcome to episode 3 of the put any pressure on myself now to do things in a certain way. So like with my jet lag, I've just been letting my jet lag, you know? I haven't been trying to force myself to sleep at any time. I've been just going with the flow of like, okay, I'm waking up at 1 in the morning and then I do a bit of work because I'm wide awake, and then I go back to sleep at like 5 and then I wake up at 8. Like, yeah, I'm just letting my body do its thing and trusting that my body will recalibrate without me. Like the pressure of like trying to get my sleeping pattern perfect again is just like an extra stress that I just do not need. So anyway, the tiredness is coming in. Today we're going to talk about the Mother Teresa identity, because as women, like, it's just like fucking forced down our throat that we have to be these good women, that like these saviors, these saints, and it really fucks with us. We're trying to get empowered and reclaim our darker parts, but also our bold parts. And like you see this so often with like women and their boundaries, women with money, women with like becoming a fucking savior to their partner and like fixing, you know, taking that role of savior. It's such a sneaky little self-sabotage, but the identity is basically rooted in feeling like you're needed, like that instant validation. And what I want you to know, like as you listen to this and like as we go through like the different identities, like even if these identities are sabotaging you and you know that they're bad or that they're limiting you, there is a part of you that enjoys it. There's a part of you that gets something out of it. There's a part of you that kinks on it. So just be open to like finding like what part of you enjoys that identity. So like with the Mother Teresa one, I feel like it's this like good person identity of like not charging your worth, overextending yourself, overgiving, being this like martyr or saint where you give up your pretty much like your rights of like pleasure, of like power, of like selfishness. Ooh, I can't wait to get onto this part, the selfishness. But yeah, it's like this whole identity rooted in selflessness. Oh, itchy face. But what's happening is actually the Mother Teresa identity is the most selfish part of you, because it's this needy part of you needs you to be seen, accepted, liked, and loved. And that's where it's like you're choosing attachment over authenticity, because you've learnt growing up that either you mold who you are and give people what they want. It's like a manipulation tactic, and people pleasing is manipulation. Like either you give people what they want and stay held in community and loved and accepted, or you assert your boundaries, you tell people how it is, you take what's yours, and then you fucking get exiled out of the community. And obviously as a child, like you cannot risk that, because as a child you have to choose attachment over authenticity. But what's happening is that in your adulthood you're still playing this pattern, and this is why we call it a survival pattern. where you're choosing to be liked over choosing yourself. And if you're in the like healing space or coaching space and the spiritual space, like this Mother Teresa identity will be like so rampant. Yeah, so alive. There'll be this pressure, especially as a woman, and it will ruin your business. And the other thing I want to say on this as well, all of that aside, is that you're actually not helping anyone. And this is why I say that it's the most selfish part of you. Because when you are saving a victim, when you're constantly saving someone, you're stripping them of the opportunity to save themselves. And that's why it's selfish. Because for the victim to rewrite their story, the cycle has to be broken. And by being the savior, you're enabling it. Like, you know, whether it's in, let's say in the context of business, you discount your rate because you assume that that person is not going to be able to pay those prices. So what happens is you kink off this, I'm a good person, I'm doing this for like, I don't know, for the world, like I'm not holding my standards, I'm lowering my boundaries, I'm giving discounts because I'm a good person, you know, Mother Teresa, I'm the savior. I'm saving this person because they need help and they can't afford it. What happens is that this person never steps up in prioritizing their finances and investing in themselves properly. I know that the bigger the investment, the bigger the commitment, and the bigger the transformation. So by lowering your price for someone, you think you're helping them, but actually you are disempowering them, because the empowered buyer knows, values the container, and can step up to become resourceful to invest. But as long as you keep lowering your prices and saving these people, they're not actually going to get much out of the experience. They're not going to get the level and depth of transformation that they could get if you trusted that they would get resourceful, be as resourceful as you have been in your investments, because I know you have been, and fully commit to the person that they want to become. So my point here is, you're not just disempowering the person you're trying to save, you're also sabotaging yourself, because you also deserve to hold standards in your business. And this 100% relates into your relationships too. How many women want to fix the guy that they're with, or constantly lower their boundaries, or like overgive because they want to be that person in the relationship, the one that's like saving the other person. And again, both of you lose in that situation. Like, you become unfulfilled in your relationship, you become drained, resentful, and then the other person in the relationship never steps up. They stay disempowered. Their patterns stay enabled. And this is why the Mother Teresa identity is so fucking toxic to this society. It just keeps everyone exactly where they are. And for you to experience more in your life, more abundance, more pleasure, more power, like more self-trust, more fulfillment across the board in your life, you've got to drop that need to be a good person and save other people. And the most selfless thing you can do is hold your boundaries so fucking tight and strong that people don't have a choice but to fucking step up, and the world doesn't have a choice but to fucking step up. Like, look at the society that we're living in, where women are constantly enabling men to just keep being toxic and keep fumbling and keep fucking acting like idiots. And if we took the responsibility of saying, actually, no, I'm not going to enable this anymore, then men would have no fucking choice but to step the fuck up. And yeah, I know what you're thinking, like, oh, it shouldn't be on us. But when you can take control of the situation, of your situation and your reality, fucking hell, that's an empowering thing to do. You feel fucking insane. No one can mess with you. And the people that come into your life are held to a fucking standard. You feel so connected, valued, respected. It's a relationship. It's not a fucking one-way street anymore. Like, can you hear what I'm saying here? It's like, you need to be cruel to respect both people, to respect yourself and to respect the other. And that, I'm saying that in business and relationships and everything in between and outside of. Yeah, like, your boundaries are the medicine to this world, not your Mother Teresa identity. So please, for the love of God, notice where you are trying to be the good person and what that is doing for you. What are you getting out of it? And how is it actually sabotaging you? How can you start to actually use your voice, use your expression, use your boundaries, use your discernment and strength and power as a woman to not just protect yourself, but to make some real fucking change in this world? Episode 3 of the
And we're back
with Mission Step podcast.
I
Firstly,
want this podcast not just be
so tired for myself. I'm so jet lagged,
but also
right
be a
now.
permission slip for everyone else, because this is just
But
what I found. Like,
I'm also
every
really,
time I give
really
myself
grateful
a permission slip, I'm extending it to everyone else too.
Which I
Just makes
this privilege
way more fun, way more
and
impactful
created a
and,
reality where
you know,
I get to travel the world.
Yeah, just
and
adds more depth
experience so many different events with different women
to why I'm doing
and
this.
retreats and just like
So
I just fucking love my life. But also, I've entered this new
I want to talk about the robot
like
race.
way of living where I just do not and my put any pressure on
Robot
myself
revolution.
now to do things in a certain way. So like with my jet lag, I've just been letting my jet lag
come to my attention.
I've been trying to force myself to sleep at any time.
Recently,
I've been that just going with the flow of like, okay, I'm waking up in the morning and
society.
I do a bit of work because
And
I'm
I'm
awake
not
and then I go back to sleep
just
at like
talking
5
about
and then I
AI.
wake up at 8. Like, I'm just letting
this robot
my body do its thing.
society
And trusting that my body will
all my life.
recalibrate without me.
But I'm only
like,
just
the pressure of like trying to get my sleep
clocking
pattern
it
perfect
this year.
again. It's just like
So
extra stress.
I'll give you a little story background.
So anyway, the time
Maybe you'll understand it better from this, but
today we're going to talk about
basically
the Mother Teresa identity.
all my life
Because there's
as
been this
women,
pressure to fit in a box.
ugh,
it's just like fucking from the age of like 14 is when I forced down our throat that we have to be started caring about these
body image,
good and women's ideals, and
these saviors,
having
these
perfect
saints.
body, and there was just a lot of pressure to, and it really to look a certain way, and that led me down like 10 years of like disordered eating and reclaim all of our diets in the world, part of binge eating, because my body would just retaliate, and like you see this so often with like women and their boundaries, women with money, just women with like disconnecting from fucking savior, anything in my body other than like what it looked like, and just really reducing savior down my bodies. It's such a sneaky little self-sabotage. Wow. The identity is basically rooted in to just feeling how I look, like you're needed, and like that instant validation. And it was almost like I was, as you listen to this and like as we go through like the different identities, killing myself. Like I would exercise so hard, like oh my god, the emotional and physical, even if these identities were sabotaging you, to not eat when I was hungry, and you know that they're bad, or that like suppressing their appetite, limiting you. A phase of like there is a part of you that to suppress it. Like I remember just like smoking. There's a part of you that gets something out. Like there's a part of you that just trying to distract from the fact that I was so just be open to like finding like and then going to bed hungry enjoys that identity. So like, with the Mother Teresa one, really I feel like it's this like my body good person, because I want to like good, like not charging your worth, overextending yourself, overgiving, and then I mean being this like. I think most women can relate to that, and maybe on another episode I could go into more detail, but like my point here with the whole like robot race is that like I just feel of like that we've been so power conditioned to prioritize like selfishness. I can't wait to get onto this part. The selfishness as the most. Yeah, it's like this whole identity rooted in selfishness that we've just become dead inside. It's like we're all. But what's happening is actually the Mother Teresa identity is the most selfish part of you. Lovable in society in terms of like because expression, like women are literally walking around expressionless part of you because they don't want to get rid you to be seen, accepted, and like getting things like Botox done and loved, and like, and that's where it's like everyone's holding everything in. Like, so I teach breath work. You've learned growing up that my work is like really, really like rooted in either you mold who you are and give people what they want. I feel like I need to go down this road to like a manipulation tactic. Why self-expression is manipulation. The most like either you give people what they want as a human, and stay held in community and loved and accepted, or you assert your boundaries. It's how you take up space in the world. It's how you make a mark. It's how you communicate non-verbally and verbally. And then you get exiled out of the community. Obviously, as a child, like you cannot risk how you live as a child. You have to choose how you process emotion. But what's happening is that in your adult, but no one's doing it because it looks weird. So if you see a baby, like baby that's come out of the womb, where you're choosing to be scream, tantrum, choosing yourself, like you know. A baby feels space. If you're in the like healing space or coaching space with the instinctive and the spiritual space, cycle response. Like this Mother Teresa identity triggered by something, your body releases hormones, you feel the emotion, which is energy, emotion, rabid, self-expression to help the energy leave the body, and then it doesn't get trapped. Yeah, so alive. And what we've got nowadays is this whole society of people, and it will ruin your business. And the other thing I want to say on this as well, like all of that aside, is that to me, you're actually not helping anyone. And this is why most people say that cry or watch them, like literally be like, I don't want to cry. Because when you are like holding it in, or like men, for example, when you're constantly saving someone. So many men that don't know how to cry, opportunity to save themselves. They even try and cry and they can't. And That's
But
why
this
it's
is a learned
selfish,
behaviour.
because for the victim,
And like there's studies that show that when you cry,
rewrite their story,
you cry more, live longer.
the cycle has to be
and it's
broken.
because
And
by
you're
being disabled,
holding
you're
all of your
enabling
emotions in. If you're
like,
processing
whether it's in
what comes up, that is energy
you're not
let's
leaving
say
your
in the
body,
context of
energy
business,
remaining in your fascia and your tissues.
you
It's not
discount your
only
rate
causing you to create beliefs and survival identities and
to pay those prices.
like
So what
self-sabotaging
happens
patterns
is
and like all those kind of
you
like
kink off
blocks
this.
within yourself. It's
I'm a
also
good
affecting
person,
your
I'm doing
physical
this
health.
for like 93% of all disease is caused, I don't know, by trauma, unprocessed trauma in the body. Like I'm not holding my
So this is
standards. I'm
why
lowering my
I'm
boundaries.
leading a
I'm giving
revolution
discounts
against
because I'm a good person.
the robot race that we're
Mother
living in.
Teresa, I'm the savior.
Because
Saving
we
this
are
person because they need
underexpressed.
help and they can't afford
And when
it.
we're holding
What
so
happens
much
is that this person
shame, guilt,
never steps up,
anger,
rage,
in
prioritizing
all
their
these
finances and
heavy,
investing in
heavy
themselves
frequencies
properly.
of emotion, if we're holding them in the body,
I
we're not-
know
like
that
the
the bigger
energy,
the investment,
the movement of
bigger the
energy is not
commitment,
able
bigger the
to just like
transformation.
flow in our field,
So
in our body.
by lowering your
We
price
cannot
for someone,
access
you think you're
aliveness.
helping
We
them,
cannot
but actually
access
you are
pleasure. We
disempowering
cannot
them.
access full
Because
freedom.
the empowered buyer knows
And this is how we become
values
robots. Because if we
container.
can't feel all the
And
like heavy emotions, we also can't feel
step up
to become resourceful,
to
to
invest. But as
the
long as you
heights
keep lowering your prices, and
pleasure and
saving
aliveness,
people,
and like exhilarating,
they're not
like
actually going
just
to get much out of
being
the
present
experience. They're not
in
going to get the
all your
level and
feelings.
depth of transformation
You're
that
just
they
living
could
in
get.
life. You trusted that they would,
Because when the body's
get
holding on to a
resourceful,
lot of
pain and tension and
be as resourceful as you have been
unprocessed stuff,
in your investments, 'cause I know
your
you
mind
have
will
been,
literally tick like a fucking
and fully commit. I don't know
to
what that
the
is.
person that they want to become.
So
The
my
mind
point here
protects you
is
from having to feel all the discomfort in the body.
you're not just disempowering the person you're trying to save, you're
And that's why
also
there's so many of us
sabotaging
that are
yourself
just
because you also
constantly
deserve
second
hold
guessing.
standards in your business, and this
In cycles of
100%
self-doubt,
relates like into your relationships too.
living these
How
patterns, these
many women
identities of like,
want to fix?
how can I
the guy that they're with
avoid
constantly lower
feeling
their
anything
boundaries or
uncomfortable?
like overgive because they want to
By
be that person in the relationship, the one
just
that's
abandoning
like
myself.
saving the other person.
And that's where like the people pleaser,
the
the good girl, the Mother Teresa
again,
identity,
both
they all come in because they're
in that
protecting you from having to
situation.
feel
like you become unfulfilled.
the heavy
in your
emotions of,
relationship,
like,
you become
rejection,
drained, resentful,
of shame.
and then the person in the
But
the
what
other
my
person
mission
in
is
the
here
relationship
is-
never steps up. They stay disempowered.
This is how I'm gonna like
Their patterns stay enabled.
this is how I'm gonna
And this
show
is why the
you.
Mother Teresa identity is so fucking toxic to this society. It just
like
the
the way
keeps
that this
everyone
works,
exactly
the way
where
that
they
this
are.
work
and
and my
you
method
to
has been created is
experience more in your life, more
when you're
abundance,
okay, when you can hold
pleasure,
shame,
more
power,
grief,
anger, the rage, when you
more
can hold it
self-trust,
and you no longer run
fulfillment.
away from it, you actually let it move through
across the
you.
board in your life.
Your
you've got to
survival
drop
identity
that
is to be a good person,
Just-
save other people.
And
I
the
mean,
most
that's
selfless
like,
thing
you
you can
don't
do
need
is
them anymore.
hold your boundaries so
Because you're not running away
tight
from
and
parts of
strong
yourself anymore.
that people
You
don't
can then
have a
start to
choice
take up
but to
space
fucking
in
step
your
up.
like
The world
truth,
doesn't have a choice.
your
but to
bold,
fucking
bold,
step
bold
up.
truth and
And look at the
authenticity
society
and like
we're living in, where women are constantly
voice
enabling
and like
men
your beliefs,
just
and,
keep
like,
being
your boundaries,
and not
keep
buckle
fumbling
or
keep
cower or
being
waver with them
acting
because
like idiots. You're scared that people aren't going to like you.
and if we took the responsibility of saying actually
And the
no, I'm
way
not going to enable
to
this
access
anymore,
more
then
aliveness
men would
and
have
pleasure
no
and like
fucking
stop
choice
being a
but to
fucking
step the
robot
fuck up.
is to feel the emotion, hold the emotion, and then express
And yeah, I know
it.
what you're thinking, like, oh, it shouldn't be on us,
let
but
it move through the body. Like that's why on my retreats we do
situation,
of
so
your
much
situation
in your reality. Fucking hell,
deep
that's an empowering
workshop
thing to do. You
on
feel fucking insane.
expression.
No one can mess with you. And then the people that come into your
and
life
taking up
are
space
held
and
to a
learning
fucking
how to move
standard.
energy through the body. Because
Once you're a master of your body,
you
feel
you become
so
a master of your reality.
once you are
Connected
able to
change the
valued,
frequency in your body.
respected to a higher frequency.
It's a relationship. It's not
of
fucking
magnetism,
of
one-way
pleasure,
street
of
anymore.
aliveness.
The whole
Can
universe
you hear what I'm
rearranges
saying here?
itself
It's like
around you. Your
need
work
to be cruel,
deepens
to
becomes
respect both people.
like to respect
Body-led,
yourself, and to
pleasure-led,
respect the other, and that I'm saying that
purpose-led.
in business and relationships and everything in between.
You become deeper in your boundaries in service
And
without
outside
all your
of.
insecurities and your
Yeah, like
identity.
your boundaries
back.
Medicine.
Same in
as well.
relationships.
Not your Mother Teresa.
Relationships deepen. So
You
please,
have difficult
for the love of God,
conversations. You face parts of yourself that most people can't face, which is why they're in
where you are trying to be,
because they're just
the
running
good
away from
person.
themselves, and they're in
What
these cycles with each
that
other.
is doing
It's
for
like
you.
when
What are you getting
you
out of it?
start, and how
Meeting
is it
yourself in these
actually
deeper
sabotaging
parts.
you?
You attract someone who can
How
meet
can you
themselves
start
in
to
their
actually
deep parts
use
too?
your
And
voice,
all
use
of
your
a sudden,
expression, use your
your
boundaries,
relationship
use
is
your
this deep dance
discernment
of just
and strength and power as a woman to not just protect yourself,
embodiment.
to make some real fucking change in this world.
and self-expression and communication and like intimacy. And it starts with being intimate with the self, and intimate with the self is very vulnerable. This is where there's work, and I don't even like to call it work. But this is where this is just so powerful, because this isn't for the faint-hearted. What I do is not for the faint-hearted, because you meet yourself in so much vulnerability and intimacy. The average person isn't willing to go there. But when you can go there, you just unlock. You just unlock so much infinite opportunity to really live this life to the full, to really be in every experience, to really feel the aliveness of being a human being and experience the full range of your emotions. You know, we're souls in a human experience. And when we're souls and we're not here on this plane, in this 3D reality, we don't have emotion in the spiritual realm. We don't have these senses and this experience. And it's like, when you're able to be in your aliveness as a human, it's like you feel gratitude for all of it. Even the emotions that are heavy. Because it's like, oh my God, like I can feel it. I feel alive. I feel this pulse in my body. Like, yeah, it's challenging, but like, wow. What a feeling to be alive and in your senses. And this is why I bring sensuality into the practice, because sensuality is being in your senses, in your pleasure, in your pain, in your power, in your grief, in your rage, in your shame. Like, all of it is welcome. And this is where it just becomes so fucking mind-blowing, because you thought that you weren't whole. You thought that there were parts of you that you needed to shame or avoid, or that weren't good enough. But then you enter this world of the robot revolution, the world of the feline takeover, where we get primal, we get raw, we get in our feelings, we get in our body, we get in our expression. And then you realize that it wasn't about the money. It wasn't about their version of success, climbing the ladder
of having a diary full of proving that you were good enough through your achievements. It was always just about feeling alive in this experience. And that's the kind of conversation that you would have on a deathbed. I truly, deeply, deliciously lived my life in full aliveness. Not numbness, not disconnection, not chasing, not suppression, but like in full fucking licking it all up, just being alive and in your senses as a human, like getting a dead hand. This is why we're here to experience it, to lick it all up and just and this last note is the sexuality piece, because especially as women, we have so much shame around our sexuality. And the reason why I've brought in sexuality and sensuality into my work is because you cannot access aliveness and pleasure while you are still holding so much shame in your body. And coming back alive, pardon the pun, but bringing your body back online and bringing your aliveness and your pleasure and all of that means meeting the parts of you where you're carrying shame, and it's just inevitable. There's not a woman on this planet that doesn't feel shame around her sexuality, because that's the society that we're living in right now. In some cultures, it's more intense than others, but it's deep-rooted, and it's not just from your lifetime, it's from your ancestry too. And we're holding that in our bodies from our whole lineage. So this work is multidimensional, like there's so many parts of this, but itchy nose. Like, it just comes down to just there's literally so hard to summarize this in one sentence. Basically, I am just done with living life like a robot, prioritizing how I look, how I'm perceived, whether I'm doing it right, over what actually is alive in my body. And I want this for all the women, for everyone. I want this for everyone. Because I know that when you're alive in your life, there is just nothing left to chase. No amount of money, no relationship, no man, like no version of success. Like, when you are fully alive and it's pulsing through your body and you've got that just liberation online, you don't need anything else. Everything else comes as you start to create the reality that you want as a byproduct of you and your aliveness and your full truth. And that's what's so fucking beautiful about it.